Thank you so much for joining us today for this very, very special occasion. My name is Paul Simmons. I'm the Director of Parks, Arts, and Recreation for the City of Olympia, and this is a co-hosted event with the City of Lacey.
Hi, I'm Jen Burbidge, Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Lacey. Thank you for coming today.
We'd like to take a quick second and acknowledge some of our elected officials that are here today and appointed folks. Mayor Pete Komet from the City of Tumwater is here. From the City of Olympia, we also have Mayor Cheryl Selby. We have Mayor Pro Tem Nathaniel Jones. And Councilmember Clark Gilman. And I don't think I missed anybody else, but just in case, I just wanted to. We'll get to Mary, but any other Olympia City Council members that may have snuck in? Sorry. Okay, very good. Jen, here you go.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to thank Mary Hall from Thurston County, the auditor, for being here. I want to thank Deputy Mayor Cynthia Pratt for being here today. I also want to acknowledge Aram Wheeler from the City of Lacey Park Board of Commissioners. Yeah, we got him. And also we have Seth Huff, who is a historical commissioner for the City of Lacey as well. Thanks for being here, Seth. I also would like to thank Virgil Clarkson for being here with his wife. He's the former mayor of Lacey and also a longtime council member. We'd like to thank Senator Sam Hunt for being here today. We'd like to thank Senator Karen Fraser for being here. And I also wanted to thank any City of Lacey staff, including our city manager, Scott Spence, as well. So, thanks.
All right, we've had a couple of great partners that helped pull this event together. The Park Foundation of Thurston County, not only were they helpful with this event, but they do so much for parks in our area and in our region. And I'd like to just acknowledge James Reddick and Joe Heyer for all their work with the Park Foundation. Another really important part. Bike trail in use. We'd also like to acknowledge Thurston County. They're a really, really critical partner, and Kerry Hibden and his staff have been phenomenal. And then also I'd be remiss, too, if I didn't acknowledge the Olympia staff that are also here. So thank you, Olympia Parks, Arts, and Recreation staff.
Okay, to get us started, I'd like to introduce Deputy Mayor Cynthia Pratt to get us started.
Thank you for being here with us to celebrate this special event. You know, I'm really honored to be here with you as we celebrate the work and legacy of Karen Fraser. Karen Fraser's service to the city actually began when she was one of the first of 3 women to be appointed to our Lacey Planning Commission by then Mayor Albert Van Andel. On the commission, Karen developed strong and lasting relationships with council members and residents of Lacey. And for those that know her, she has continued with those attributes, and it just shows. Just a few years later, actually probably about a year and a half, I'm not sure, Karen was nominated to fill a vacancy on the council. Representing the young city, Karen set the direction and tone for Lacey for years to come. For 42 years ago, at the age of 31, the Lacey City Council elected Karen Fraser to be mayor. So here's what the Olympian said the next day. The Olympian, the headline read, "Lacey takes a Ms. Mayor." I'm not sure that would happen today. It was the first time for the city to have a mayor directly representing women in the community. The visible legacy of young Mayor Fraser, back then, of course, can be seen today in the Lacey Museum. No, it's good because she has accomplished so much since then. That's what I'm saying. Can be seen today in the Lacey Museum and Lacey City Hall. So As she was mayor, she championed improvements to the city's utility and transportation infrastructure that served as the backbone of our community. During her 2.5 terms as service as mayor, Karen not only was known for her dedication to the city, but also for fighting for advancement, the causes of gender equality and human rights to all. Her advancements, contributions, and policies have helped Lacey grow to be the great city it is today. Karen stands as an example of what can be accomplished when one breaks down barriers and blazes their own trail. And she's continued to do that. So I am so honored today that we are here officially to recognize and honor Karen for her years of dedicated public service. Her leadership, her experience, and her drive for equality and human rights have made our city, our county, and state a better place to grow and thrive. I hope as adults and children bike and walk along this trail, they will learn that Karen's hard work and legacy and aim higher to be better as they forge their own path in life. Karen, again, thank you for your labor and dedication to the people of Lacey, Thurston County, and Washington State. Thank you, everyone, for being here to support and honor Karen. Thank you.
And real quick, before I introduce the great mayor of Olympia, Cheryl, Selby, Beth Dolio, Representative Beth Dolio also just joined us. Thanks for being here, Beth. So with that, Mayor Cheryl Selby with the City of Olympia.
Thanks, Paul. So I'm Cheryl Selby, and it's been my honor to be mayor of Olympia since January of 2016. I've got a bit of a cold today, so bear with me. I will not be pulling weeds later, unfortunately. I'd love to, but... So I know we're all here to honor an amazing parks advocate, but do you know what else we're celebrating today? National Trails Day, of course. So what better time to unveil the official trail signage than a day that also recognizes the importance of getting outdoors and celebrating our natural bounty. So how many of you had a mom that every summer morning would say, go outside and play? Right? It's like the best memories were just being outside all day long, and the wonderful recreational assets that we have in this area are to be treasured. So how did we get to this spot? Last fall, the city councils of Olympia and Lacey both voted to rename the Woodland Trail the Karen Fraser Woodland Trail. We unanimously felt it was a fitting way to honor Senator Fraser's service to our community. Today, we're going to have a brief sign unveiling ceremony to officially dedicate the new trail name, and afterwards there will be a service project removing invasive plant species to continue our restoration efforts along the trail. Before we dig in, I want to hit a few highlights of the ways that Senator Fraser has been a trailblazer in our community. Deputy Mayor Pratt touched on some of them, but after she was elected Lacey's first female mayor in 1976, she served 8 years as a Thurston County Commissioner. Thurston County Commissioner service. Do we have any commissioners here today? No commissioners. Okay. After that, she served 4 years as a state representative and then was elected to the state senate in 1993 and served in that capacity until 2016. Give her a hand. And she hasn't stopped, right? So as well, she's been a strong advocate over the last all of her years. She's been a strong advocate for parks projects. She consistently supported and brought in over $8 million over the course of 25 years for the Washington Wildlife and Recreation Program, and was which is a major funding source for many of our Olympia's park projects. She as well was instrumental in 2 major state appropriations for Percival Landing, $3 million for Phase 1 rehab project that was in 2010. And over $900,000 for the upcoming bulkhead replacement project. So thank you so much for that. So at this time, I believe we're going to be unveiling. So is there a protocol for how we're going to do this? You're the tallest, Jonathan. No one else can get that. I don't know. We're going to have to jump.
Yeah, there's no way I
I'll put Cynthia on my shoulders and we'll do it, right?
And I'll do the countdown, and yes, I'll do a countdown, but also thank you for your patience if we need to get the ladder. So, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Do you want the microphone? Cynthia. Yeah, and then I'll do this T-shirt. Yeah. Okay, and Senator Fraser, we also have made a sign specially for you. We also have a T-shirt here for you from the Park Foundation and the photo opportunities. Yeah, I'm going to give you this T-shirt and then I'll hand the microphone over to you. This is from the Park Foundation and it actually has your signage on the back of the T-shirt as well. So that's from Park Foundation. And we would love it if you'd say a few words.
I did prepare a few words. Not too long, but well, good morning. Thank you, everybody. This is really, I'm just so profoundly appreciative. This is one of the most amazing things that could happen to a person, especially me. And so I'm profoundly honored, and I thank you. Thank you for your amazing remarks about a lot of the things I've done, and thank you to the park staffs for this wonderful organization of this event today. And I think one good thing about it is that it will publicize even more our fabulous regional trail system. So please tell all your friends and use it. So yeah, I always thought facilities like this were named after other people. so this is going to take some getting used to say the least. So, but I appreciate your appreciation of my public service. It was always done with my heart and for its sake only. So I could talk more about that, but I won't. But I want to say I do have an abiding belief in democracy, and I am dedicated to upholding and extending the principles and opportunities of democracy. And it's all of that help make this trail system here, and it helps make our community as alive and vibrant and steadily improving as it is. So thank you, everybody who is involved. Elected officials, extraordinarily committed public staff of our governments, state and local, and dedicated citizens who research, advocate, and volunteer to make things better, like helping with clearing out some of the weeds along here today. So thank you. And we need to recognize that while you're recognizing me today for my public service and the values that I've sought to uphold, really most elected officials are the same way. They really believe in democracy and public service and trying to do the best for the community. So please say thank you to so many elected officials you work with, because this is true of almost every elected official. Yeah, let's give elected officials a hand, and former elected officials and candidates who put themselves forward and continue to be supportive of our community. So this is a major occasion, so I also want to express appreciation to my late husband, Tim Malone, who was very supportive and patient. Patience is a big part of being a family member if you have an elected official in your family. And I also want to say thank you to a lot of personal friends for their support and patience, too. Really important. But this occasion is very special to me in three particular ways I thought I'd mention. One, I love our area. I love being involved. I love living here. Sometimes I put it on my resume that one of the things I like to do is just live around here. I do. And I think that's the way everybody here feels. Secondly, I'm an outdoor recreation enthusiast of many stripes, and I'm very proud to have represented a community in the legislature that gives a high priority to trails. It's not every community where all the local governments in the area join together and say to the legislature, we want money for our major regional trail system. So I think we can be really proud of our local governments in the area. And they haven't stopped. They're continuing. They've got more plans for the future. And then the third point is I personally love trails. And to kind of edit the beginning line of a Robert Frost poem, something there is that doesn't love a trail. And there's something special and inviting about trails. And I don't know quite what it is, but maybe it's that you see the world in a little different way. You see it through different lenses. Maybe it's more realistic, maybe it's more thoughtful, maybe it's more comprehensive. But you know, in modern life, we're so used to orienting ourselves by roads and zooming along in cars and buses and always in a hurry. And it's a little different on a trail. You experience a community in a different way. You get a closer look at trees, plants, geology, birds. You get a more intimate experience with neighborhoods. As you walk or bike, you get improved physical fitness and maybe emotional fitness, maybe that for your pet too. And you have an opportunity to be inspired, to think calmly about things, an opportunity to either pleasantly visit with friends or just spend some nice quiet time by yourself. So there's a lot on trails. And a trail is a route to exploration and adventure. Maybe that's a stimulus for curiosity. You know, what's next? What's around that next bend or over the next little hill? Looking down there. So, and a trail also provides insights into our history. You know, every trail has a history. There were people who used it before we came along. So, for example, most of the regional trails in our area are the result of they are former rail lines. And I remember when this trail that we're renaming today was a rail line. I watched trains go down it. I remember very well the Chehalis Western Railroad that took trains of logs twice a day, very heavy, rumble roar past where I lived, and the whole building shook. And anyway, so there's a lot of history to trails, and that's nice to think about National Trails Day, and I think we should continue to appreciate the people who brought rails to trails to us and the people who work hard on funding trails in the legislature. So this trail that we're renaming today is really unique. It's not only a recreation trail, it's also a transportation trail. So it connects up a lot of great places to go as well as being a recreation asset. So if you start down at the East Side Street where it starts, you'll step back in time. You'll step back like maybe 100 years to what the area looked a typical Puget Sound lowland woods looked like maybe 100 years ago before we had all this development that we have today. Then you move along and you can visit people in your various neighborhoods along the way. And then you come to Lacey, you have a very different experience, very urban. You can go to lots of neat restaurants and coffee shops. You can do shopping of almost any kind. You can catch a bus. You can go to various places of worship. You can get a higher education degree, either at St. Martin's or South Puget Sound Community College. So there's a lot you can do here. Then you get way down at the far eastern end, and Lacey has a beautiful Woodland Creek Park, very family-oriented. And as part of that park, there's the Virgil Clarkson Senior Center. Virgil's over here. Yay, Virgil. And there's the Lacey Community Center and a very popular, disc golf course. So anyway, so there's a lot to see and do along the trail. And very, very importantly, where we are standing, this trail connects the Woodland Trail, now Karen Fraser Woodland Trail, which is kind of amazing. I'm not used to it yet. And the Chehalis Western Trail. And I was told this morning this might be the first bicycle roundabout in the country. Yay! And so you could consider this junction sort of the I-5, I-405 interchange of our regional trail system here. So anyway, so you can take, if you're on this trail we're renaming today, if you go south on the Chehalis Western Trail, you can get all the way down to Rainier and then branch off to Tenino and Yelm. If you go north, you can go all the way up to Puget Sound to Woodland, to Woodard Bay and Henderson Inlet. It used to be the log dump, and now it's a fabulous nature preserve with very interesting wildlife and a park and a historical site. So I encourage you to just use the trails galore around here. They are one of the great assets of the area, and I hear that they're going to try at some point to connect up this trail, the Woodland Trail, Karen Fraser Woodland Trail, I have to get used to this, with regional trails that you can connect to in Tumwater. So, and I forgot to mention, but right now you can, at the East Side Street, connect up with the Watershed Park Trail system. So see, it's fabulous. So please tell all your friends, and everybody should use it. So I encourage everybody to use all the trails. Tell your friends to use the trails. It's a fabulous part of our life around here. And please consider volunteering on various work parties from now and then to help maintain the trail. And again, I'd like to express my very deep appreciation to mayors and city council members of Olympia and Lacey for this incredible honor. And I thank each of you for making it a priority to be here today. And let's enjoy the trail.